Hey everybody, welcome to the Becoming Superhuman podcast. I'm your host, John Kelly, and this podcast is sponsored by True Fitness AI. True Fitness AI is a revolutionary new app that combines human experience and the power of artificial intelligence to create personalized meal plans and exercise plans. Imagine having a meal plan of foods that you actually enjoy. Well, that's what True Fitness AI is going to do. And we're here today to talk about how you can become superhuman. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick intro into who I am and why you should spend time even listening to me. My name is John Kelly, and I've been in the fitness industry for 30 years. I started in the fitness industry at age 13 when I decided to become Batman. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but the training that I started allowed me to become a bodybuilder at 18, and I began to play college football at age 22. I didn't even play in high school, but I walked on to play in college. After that experience, I knew that I could literally do anything I wanted if I put my mind to it, and I worked towards it. After playing college football at age 22, I became a personal trainer where I started my first business. I had a nice, thriving personal training business of about 20 clients when I moved into firefighting. Throughout this process, I learned more and more about the body. I got a degree in exercise physiology, and I really started to learn about what fitness was. But I had a misconception of what fitness was because I thought it was hard work all the time and just pushing as hard as I can and getting better than everybody. And this served me throughout my career as a firefighter, and I also became a professional MMA fighter at the same time. So basically, I was continually pushing myself to become better and better, fitter and fitter. I was 10% body fat, I had visible abs, I was winning fights, but I was miserable. I had poor sleep, I had a low sex drive, I had bad relationships, and high levels of anxiety and depression after one particular weekend where I spent 3 days straight in a competition that I got second place in. But what I really realized after that competition was that I had been doing things wrong for many, many years. You see, my idea of fitness at the time is much like everybody's idea of fitness. When you think about the word fitness, you think about somebody working out, you think about somebody in great shape, and that's what I thought it was, and that's who I was. But in actuality, I wasn't healthy at all. On the outside, I looked amazing, but on the inside, I was aging rapidly. And because I was pushing myself so hard, I developed something called stage 3 adrenal fatigue, where my adrenal glands could no longer produce the hormones necessary for me to have a high sex drive or to be able to work out anymore. I was depressed, I had high levels of anxiety, and I even had suicidal thoughts, all because I was pushing myself to be as fit as possible. And that's what led me on a path over the last 10 years to discover what true fitness really is. There was really no internet back then. When I started training, there was AOL. You got a CD. I didn't even know what it was. The internet, there was no Google, there was no YouTube. So all I did was train twice a day. I would sleep barely because I thought sleep was for the weak. I thought, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But what I realized when I got sick was that lack of sleep, too much training, bad nutrition, drinking alcohol, staying out late, and putting multiple stress on my system was a recipe for disaster. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to teach you what true fitness is so that you could perform at your highest and in essence become superhuman. What I've learned over the last 10 years has changed my life completely. I now have 3 businesses, a healthy family, I sleep throughout the night, I'm 10% body fat, and I'm more creative than ever. I have more time than ever. My businesses and my prioritizing true fitness has allowed me the freedom to do whatever I want. And what I want to do is help you achieve what I have found to be the most fulfilling way to live. And that's by putting your health first But you have to understand how to do that. I have developed what I call the hierarchy of health, and exercise is actually the least important aspect of fitness. And today we're gonna get into the most important aspect of fitness, and that's mindset. Now, I know you guys have heard a lot about the word mindset throughout your lives. It's all about mind over matter. What you think is what you create, and that's true. You are in charge of your reality. What if I told you that you had 70,000 thoughts a day? That's right. We work out one time a day, but you have 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of reps. And if you're spending time thinking negatively, or if you're not filling your mind with the right things, then your life is gonna reflect that. So in order for us to truly be healthy, we have to change the way we think. We have to fill our heads with the right things. We have to recognize our patterns. For example, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? If you're like most people, you grab your phone and then you start reacting to whatever on the phone. You're either scrolling social media, reacting to that, you're answering text messages, or maybe you're checking your emails. You're reacting to everything. You're not focusing on yourself. Becoming aware of your thoughts allows you to see the patterns that you have. It allows you to pursue the things that are gonna help you get to the next level. Even if you're exercising every day, if you don't have the correct mindset of growing as an individual, you're only gonna get so far. So the most important thing when it comes to true fitness is mindset. By developing a strong, healthy mindset, you're capable of accomplishing anything. Like me, when I walked on in college, I made my mind up that I wanted to prove to myself that I was worthy. I got kicked out of high school. I had a 1.7 GPA. I got my GED, and I decided I was gonna walk on and play football. And nobody could stop me. I would show up to the weight room every day and I would work out. I would run sprints every day. I would work at night, I would raise my family during the day, and I transferred myself from Miami-Dade College to FIU. And when the tryout day came, I did great in every single category. And the coaches saw that this guy has something that nobody else on this team has, and his heart and mindset. And they put me on the team. And even though I didn't play a lot in the games, I was a leader on the team because I was showing the younger generation what it meant to work hard and how you could accomplish anything that you put your mind to. So if you have 70,000 thoughts in a day and 50% of those thoughts are good and 50% of those thoughts are bad, you're just gonna be neutral in the middle. If more of those thoughts are negative, if you're talking down to yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, then you are gonna reflect that in the way that you feel, in the way that you treat people, and in the success that you have. On the flip side, if the majority of your thoughts are healthy, they're supportive of what you're doing, and they are not limited in what you can do, and you don't allow your beliefs to limit you, you can literally accomplish anything. So when it comes to health, you're only as healthy as you're thinking. And that's the foundation of the hierarchy of health. Because the foundation of the health hierarchy is how we think, we have to figure out ways to improve the way that we think. One of the best things you can do to improve your thinking is meditation. Because through meditation, you allow the chatter of everything around you to be silenced, and your own voice is able to rise up to the top. When your own voice rises up to the top, you begin to figure out what it is you really believe, what values you really have, and what you really want out of life. We can go through years of our life being led by society and never really knowing what we want. In order to think about what you want takes time, effort, and discipline. Figuring out your values and what you want out of life is the first step to true success and true fitness. Another thing that we need to do in order to cultivate a healthy mindset is read. When we read, we're able to stand on the shoulders of giants, people that have already accomplished what we're looking to accomplish, giving us the shortcuts, kind of like I'm doing right now, to help you achieve your dream. By reading good information, we're putting in positive input, which is going to create positive output for you too. If you're only putting in bad things, news, or things that cause a stressful response in your body is going to reflect that, and your mind is not gonna have the necessary information to make good choices. I'll give you an example. There's many people in the gym that I own that wanna lose weight, they wanna build muscle, but they don't know anything about nutrition. We eat 3 times a day, yet we know more about Kim Kardashian than we do about macronutrients. We need to know exactly what's going into our bodies. That knowledge makes losing weight that much easier. If you want to be successful in any endeavor, you have to learn about it. If you want to be successful in business, you read business books. If you want to lose weight, you read nutrition books. If you want to build muscle, you read strength training books. Throughout your life, putting in the right information is going to give you the right output. Knowing your values, putting in the right information, a couple of ways that you can actually develop a healthy mindset. You also have to remember that nobody has ever been born knowing anything. They all had to learn it. You are not bad at math. You just don't like math. You haven't been taught math the right way. You haven't put your energy into understanding math. Have you ever said to somebody, I'm bad at remembering names? That's not true. You're just not motivated to remember names. If I said, I'll give you $1 million if you can remember everybody's name in this room in 30 minutes, I guarantee you would do it. So when it comes to developing a healthy mindset, you have to realize that you need to adopt a growth mindset. You're not gonna be great in the beginning. When it comes to fitness, you're not gonna be fit within a week. Your mindset is not gonna change within a week. But through consistently meditating, consistently reading, and giving yourself the leeway to know that you might not be where you want to be today, but you're working towards it, is going to give you the strength and resilience of mindset in order to achieve whatever you want. And that is true fitness. The second aspect of the health hierarchy behind thinking is breathing. The reason breathing is so important is because, like your mindset, it influences everything underneath it. We breathe on an average of 20,000 times a day. The first thing we do when we come into this world is breathe. The last thing that we do when we leave this world is breathe. So breathing is going to allow your sleep to be better. It's going to allow your decision making to be better. It's going to allow you to create a balanced nervous system so that when the stressors of life hit you, you can respond instead of reacting. We are so used to breathing that we don't think of it as being important. We do it all the time, but our breath is directed by our external stimulus. So we have to intentionally breathe in a way that's going to allow us to balance our nervous system. When you work out, your breath is quick and it's fast because it needs to be quick and fast. And that's fight or flight. But if you spend all day in fight or flight like I did when I was a firefighter and an MMA fighter, you're gonna develop illness. You're gonna develop dis-ease. You have to be proactive in keeping your body healthy. True fitness is about doing breath work at least once a day, about being proactive and teaching your nervous system how to respond to stressful situations. I work with professional MMA fighters and high-level jiu-jitsu fighters, and one of the first things we change is their breathing patterns. By changing their breathing patterns, we get better performance. We get better sleep, and better sleep also increases performance. So instead of looking at the exercise, we need to look at what can we do to improve the body's response to the exercise, to improve the body's response to recovery. Once you develop that healthy mindset and you apply intentional breathing practices to your life, you begin to create coherence between your mind and your heart. You begin to teach your body how to breathe, how to use oxygen more effectively. This 1-2 combination creates the perfect foundation for true fitness. Once you've adopted breath work into your daily practice, then you have to focus on your sleep, which is the third aspect of the health hierarchy. Sleep is important for training. Sleep is important for metabolism. Sleep is important for your skin. Sleep is important for your decision making. By getting less than 6 hours of sleep, your blood sugar levels are on par with a pre-diabetic person. That means your cells are more resistant to insulin. So if you spend too much time getting 6 hours of sleep, like I did when I was a firefighter, you develop insulin resistance. I realized this when I would get up from my desk and I would be dizzy and I would pee all day. I had early signs of diabetes and I was in great shape, but because I wasn't getting enough sleep, my body wasn't able to repair. Alzheimer's has also been linked to sleep deprivation because when you sleep, your brain is cleaned out of all the gook from the day. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not able to clean out that gook. And like any other engine, your brain becomes gooked up with all this debris. And that debris eventually creates diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. Sleep also affects your hormones. So if you want to lose weight, the best way to do that is to get more sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, your leptin levels are going to be higher, which makes you want to eat more, which means you're going to eat more crappy food. And if you don't get enough sleep, your ghrelin levels are going to be too low, which keeps you satiated. So just by getting more sleep, you keep your hormones balanced so that you're not eating more junk food. In order to sleep better, you have to set yourself up for success. What does that mean? That means in the morning, in order to sleep good at night, you want to get some sunlight in your eyes, 5 to 10 minutes. Don't look directly into the sun because that's going to screw you up. But look off to the side and let the sun hit your eyes, or close your eyes and let the sun hit your eyes. I like to go out into the yard barefoot so that I'm grounding into the floor. I do my breath work in the morning and I close my eyes and I let the sunlight come into my eyes. This is about 10-15 minutes after I wake up. This sets your circadian rhythm up for success. The sunlight is going to activate, telling your brain that you want to release cortisol. Cortisol is what's going to help you throughout the day have energy. It's going to help you work out better. So getting that sunlight in the morning is a great way to start the proper rhythm that you want in order to fall asleep good at night. The next thing you can do to improve your sleep is cut caffeine off at 12 p.m. You don't want to be drinking caffeine past 12 because caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. That means if you drink a cup of coffee at 12, at 6 p.m., you're still going to have the same milligrams of caffeine in your bloodstream. Then it will half after that. That means at midnight, you still have 25% of that caffeine in your body. Now, if you drink a cup of coffee at 3 or 4 o'clock, it's going to affect the way that you sleep. It's going to affect how well you fall asleep and how well you stay asleep. So if you're going to drink caffeine, which I think most of us enjoy, you don't want to have any past 12 o'clock. Then as you get close to the evening, you want to avoid strenuous activity. That means if you like to work out in the nighttime, you need to switch your workout to the morning when your cortisol levels are high, right after you got some sun in your eyes. So getting that sun in your eyes, getting a good workout in the morning, and then stopping caffeine by 12 o'clock is going to set you up for success. But that's not all. At nighttime, you need to also create a routine for yourself. So if you know you want to get up at 7 a.m., you can't go to bed at 11 p.m. thinking you're going to get 8 hours of sleep, because humans only sleep about 85% of the time they're in bed. That means you need to get in bed an hour early or 9 hours ahead of when you want to wake up. This way, you can fall asleep and still get your 8 hours within 85% of that sleep efficiency. In order to get to sleep, you need to do a couple things. You need to have your room dark. Any little bit of light will activate cortisol in your body to a degree. Not as much as the sun when it wakes you up in the morning, but there's been studies that show in a dark room, one little beam of light on your leg will activate cortisol. So you want as little light as possible. I also try not to use my phone in the bed. Once I'm ready to go to bed, I put the phone to the side, I put it on airplane mode because I don't want that blue light in my eyes. I want to read a book, which is going to allow me to fall asleep naturally. And then before that, I have a routine where I shower, I floss, and I'm telling my body that I'm getting ready to go to sleep. There's something called the 3-2-1 rule, which means 3 hours before bed, you don't do any work. 2 hours before bed, you don't eat any food. And 1 hour before bed, you don't use your phone. And if you're going to bed 9 hours before you need to get up and you're following the 3-2-1 rule, you're getting sunlight in the morning and you're working out in the morning, I guarantee you're gonna sleep like a baby. And that sleep is gonna be seen in all areas of your life. In your workouts, in your relationships, in your sex drive, in your cognitive function, in your writing and your reading. It's gonna reflect everywhere. So making sleep a priority is more important than exercise. Next aspect of the health hierarchy after sleep is movement. Most people think that working out 1 hour a day is enough, but it's not. You have 168 hours in a week. If you spend 8 hours a night sleeping, that's 56 hours. That still leaves over 100 hours of awake time for you to spend doing other things. If you work out 5 days a week for an hour, that's only 5 out of 100 hours. That's only 5% of your day. So the key to health is actually non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, which is a fancy way of saying movement. I'll give you an example. I have a client. His name is Gil. Gil was stuck at 18% body fat for months. He was eating perfect. He was working out like an animal. He had put on a bunch of muscle, but he couldn't lose body fat. Then he told me, John, I'm gonna have to take 3 weeks off of training because I have to move my office from Wynwood to Broward County. I told him, Gil, okay, I'll see you in 3 weeks. Every day he would text me, I'm moving boxes for 8 hours a day. Gil was moving all day long. When Gil came back after 3 weeks, he looked great, but he thought that he lost a bunch of muscle. He said, Coach, I feel like I lost a bunch of muscle because I'm down 10 pounds. So we put him on the in-body scan, and lo and behold, he lost 8% body fat, simply because he was moving all day. So movement is way more important than exercise in the health hierarchy. You need to make sure that you're moving at least 30 minutes a day outside of your exercise. So you could do 3 10-minute walks after each meal, which also has benefits when it comes to how you digest food. You can park far away in the supermarket. You can take the stairs when you're going up a building. What you want to focus on is consistently finding ways to move. If you're somebody that sits at a desk for 8 hours a day, get yourself a standing desk. Get up every hour and move around for 5 minutes. Make sure you walk down the block and back for 5 minutes. If your bosses don't like it, tell them to kiss your ass and get another job. And that goes back to the number one thing in the health hierarchy is thinking. If you think that your job is more important than your health, then your health is gonna reflect that. You can find a job that's gonna allow you time to move. You can create your own business, like I did with the gym, that allows me to walk all day. And that was one of the most important things when I left the fire department because I was unhealthy and I wanted to start a business that was gonna allow me to prioritize my health, because nothing is more important than your health. So when it comes to finding the right job or finding the right way to earn money, you need to put health at the forefront, and movement needs to be part of that. One of the final aspects of the health hierarchy before exercise is, you guessed it, nutrition and hydration. You are literally made up of the food that you eat. In America, we are surrounded by processed food. Everywhere you look, I can look across the street now and I got a Domino's, I got a McDonald's, and I got a Wendy's, all within 1 block of where I am right now. It's easy to go out and get that food because it's cheap and it tastes good. But in America, the food industry has figured out something, that they can feed you with no nutrients and lots of calories, and you'll keep coming back for more because your body craves nutrients. So you could eat that food and still be hungry. But if you eat foods that are nutrient dense and organic, because you want to avoid pesticides, hormones, and steroids that are put into the animals, then you're going to be able to eat less than you burn. The key to being healthy is being in a small calorie deficit or in a maintenance plan. And that's the beauty of True Fitness AI. True Fitness AI gives you a plan of food that you like based on your preferences that's set to help you reach your goal. Is your goal to gain muscle? It's gonna help you do that. Is your goal to lose weight? It's gonna help you do that, because the algorithm is created for those specific purposes based on your goals and your preferences. So if you tell me you like beef, vegetables, chicken, and sweet potato, your meal plan is gonna reflect that. If you're not able to cook that day, because we have artificial intelligence running the app, all you gotta do is ask for a meal close by that's gonna be healthy and it's gonna fit into your plan. And the AI will scan the area and tell you exactly what you can eat and how much you should eat. This allows you to go through life eating the foods you want and still being healthy. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket, but it's not gonna cost you $100 a session. If you're interested in being one of the first users of True Fitness AI and getting a meal plan that's built around what you actually enjoy eating, click the link down in the description and put yourself on the wait list. Now that you understand the importance of nutrition, I'm gonna give you a couple ways that you can eat healthy. When it comes to shopping, you wanna make sure you're buying foods that are whole in nature, meaning they're not in a box, they're not processed, they don't have a lot of ingredients. Chicken is chicken, beef is beef, broccoli is broccoli, sweet potato is sweet potato. But not all of those foods are created equal. If you're choosing whole foods, which you should be doing, make sure you're choosing organic produce and vegetables that is not full of pesticides, because pesticides have been linked, especially glyphosate, which is in 90% of all produce and even in our water. You could actually get a test for glyphosate and it'll show you how high your levels are, but that's for a different podcast. Eating organic fruits and vegetables limits your exposure to pesticides. It may be a little more expensive, but then again, it's an investment in your health, in the way you look, and in the way you feel. And if you feel good, you'll make more money. If you feel like shit, you're not gonna make any money. So you might as well invest in your food. When it comes to beef, you want grass-fed and grass-finished. You see, the beef industry has a lot of loopholes that they can use in order to feed you conventionally grown beef, which is fed corn. Cows are not supposed to eat corn, they're supposed to eat grass. And if they're eating corn, that corn is full of pesticides. And now you're getting the pesticides from the corn, and the corn is disrupting the cow's fatty acid profile, which means it'll have more omega-6s than omega-3s, and it ruins the quality of the beef. Make sure you're getting grass-fed and grass-finished beef. I personally like Butcher Box. There's a link in the description. You can get grass-fed beef from them, and it's grass-finished. So this way you're getting the best of both worlds. When it comes to eggs, you want pasture raised. This means the chickens are actually walking around and eating a diet that is natural for them. Chickens are omnivores, so they can't just eat corn. They need to eat meat too, in the form of worms and bugs. So make sure you're getting pasture raised eggs. And finally, wild caught seafood. You don't want seafood grown on a farm because the diet of the fish grown on a farm is not the same as a fish in the ocean. Now that we got nutrition covered, we gotta focus on water. Our bodies are made up of 70% water, yet most of us don't drink enough water. I'm guilty of that. I drink coffee in the morning, I drink my workout shake, I drink my protein shake, but I don't walk around with a gallon of water or a big water bottle like a lot of people do in order to get their water. Getting enough water is gonna help your skin, your joints, and your performance. In fact, if you're just dehydrated by 5%, you see a decrease in performance of 30%. So if you're an athlete or you're somebody who wants to train hard, make sure you're drinking your water. And finally, we get to what everybody thinks fitness is, the least important aspect of true fitness, but still a very important piece of the puzzle, exercise. That's right, exercise. Something you should do every day at least once. You don't need to train hard every day. It's actually bad for you if you train hard every day, but you need to train every day. What I like to do is lift weights 4 days a week, condition 2 days a week, and then have 1 day a week where I do yoga, which is pretty hard for me because I'm not that flexible. But that allows me to get my breath work in, it allows me to get my meditation, it allows me to keep a healthy amount of muscle mass, which is super important when it comes to how your body uses blood sugar and how your body uses fat. So although exercise is the least important when it comes to the health hierarchy, it still needs to be done every day. A quick review of what the health hierarchy is. Thinking is number 1 because you do that 70,000 times a day. Breathing is number 2 because you do that 20,000 times a day. Sleep is number 3 because you do that for 8 hours and it helps literally everything else underneath it. Movement more important than exercise because your body requires more than just exercise in order to function at its highest. Nutrition and hydration because you are what you eat. And finally, exercise in the form of cardiovascular conditioning, lifting weights, and yoga. This is gonna allow you to be strong. This is gonna allow you to be flexible, and it's gonna allow you to have endurance to perform in different aspects of life. And that, in a nutshell, is the health hierarchy. We need to flip around the way we look at health from just training and nutrition to a holistic view, and that's what we do at True Fitness AI. We are bringing you specific meal plans, specific workout plans, and specific lifestyle plans built around your life. And that's just the beginning. We have so many things coming down the pipe that AI has given us the capability to do, along with 30 years of human experience that I have. True Fitness AI is going to help you become superhuman. So if you enjoyed this video and you feel like True Fitness is something that you want to adopt into your life, stick around for more great episodes where we bring on guest speakers and we continually bring you value, teaching you how to apply these techniques to your life, allowing you to actually become superhuman and live a healthier, more fulfilling life. Sign up for our newsletter where we're gonna be sending you updates and educational content that's gonna allow you to apply the True Fitness hierarchy of health. I look forward to helping you guys and seeing you grow. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think needs some more fitness in their life. See you on the next one.